Hello everyone. It's our honor to be here today and open the discussion on aging population. I'm Tân, the moderator of the discussion. I will listen to you and try my best to keep the conversation going. And in order to make this happen, we need collaboration of five participants. They are the economists, the medical staff, and the sociologist. To begin with, the, the aging population is increasing in many countries today. So, which countries in the world do you think account for the highest proportion of aging population? So, as an economist, what do you think?
Oh, thank you, Tan. For everyone, currently Japan is the only country on over 30% of the aging population. But it is predicted that in 2050, at least 64 countries have over 30% of all populations. And for who do not know, Vietnam is also one of the top of aging population in the world.
What about Tien?
So I think Japan is the largest country to make the list of the world's oldest populations. With the highest life expectancy in the world at 86, people aged 60 and over will account for over 43% of Japan's population by 2040, according to the GAP index.
And about sociologists, I'd like to invite Vinh to answer the question. Do you have the same answer with others?
For research, Monaco, Japan, Germany, and Italy are four countries account for the highest proportion of aging population. Monaco is the country has 65 and older citizens account for 20.6%.
So most of you think Japan is the country with the oldest population in the world. And this also my idea because I think Japan is a developed country and with a high standard of living, I think people in Japan can live longer. Let's go to the second question. Do you think aging population will affect a country's development? So, what do you think?
Yes, then let me say my ideas. The economic impacts caused by the aging population is of particular importance. Thing like this. It's clear that when a part of country's population is no longer working, the rest have to work harder and even twice or third time to ensure the needs of life. For example, like this, in a typical families, there are two old people, grandpa and grandma, two working age, maybe your parents, and young children. Obviously, two working age and two working age of two people of working age will have to work try as many time as to ensure the needs of life.
Anything else?
Of course, one small point is the older people tend to save more than young people. So spending on consumer goods is less. Depending on the age which this change takes place, A country with an aging population with witness low interest rates and low inflation. At the same time, the shortage of young workers has reduced the rate of economic growth and technical improvements. For example, according to a calculation from the Person Research and Consulting Institute, by 2050, Japan will face a shortage of 6.44 million workers.
And about me, I think the aging population will depress a nation economic because there will not be enough manpower to help the country grow, and besides, the government will have to raise tax and spend a lot of money on pensions and healthcare. And now I think we should move to the third question. What challenge will the healthcare system face when caring for the older people? Thảo, what do you think?
From my point of view, the world's older population is growing dramatically, and the healthcare system will face with the increasing incidence of chronic conditions within the aging population, as well as develop strategy to prevent other diseases. An important challenge is implementation of new approach in healthcare delivery to address the changing health status of the aging population. With chronic condition on the rise in this population, our healthcare become more complex. Actually, focusing on a single disease rather than comorbidity can result in insufficient focus on other present medical conditions. This chronic condition may include cancer, dementia, increasing number of colds, and diabetes. Due to the increasing aging population, the number of cancer cases is expected to increase to 70 million by 2020 and 27 million by 2030. 150 million individuals living with dementia in the world by 2050. Besides, more than one third of American adults 65 or older falls each year. Finally, the number of Americans with diabetes is expected to rise from 30 million today to 46 million by 2030. From there, it shows that our health sector is in a very difficult situation.
And about Tien, do you have any ideas?
I made a good point, but I'd like to add one on my idea. When the incidence of the elderly increases, medical costs are a major concern for many families. As more and more dangerous diseases are born, medical costs in most countries are rising. Since then, if the family is not able to afford it, it will be difficult to meet the cost, and medical expenses for the elderly more than double between the ages of 70 and 90. The average amount spent on medical care in his or her 90s exceeds $25,000 annually, a cost based primarily on nursing home costs.
I think both of you did a good job, but I would like to add that one problem that the healthcare system will face is a shortage of professional doctors. because there are not enough young people to be a doctor. And the last question is, what will family members usually do to the elders? Vinh, go first.
In my opinion, there are two ideas for the elders. The first is take the elders to nursing house because the family members don't have time to take care of the elders. Moreover, there are doctors and nurses who has technique that can take care of the elder easily. For example, in Europe or America, family members usually take their elders parents to nursing house. In nursing house, the elders have friends who have the same year of wisdom. The elder don't feel lonely while they have a lot of friends. The second is pick up the elder parents and take care of them at their house to show their filial piety to their parents, family members, welcome them to take care of them. In Vietnam, the elders usually are near with their children or families member. Although they feel lonely, but they can see their children grow up and successful. That is their wishes. That's all.
And Chang, what's your opinion?
I think the significant thing that the younger generation should do with the elderly population is they should maintain frequent contact because many family members don't live close to their elderly parents. Children need to contact to their old parents often to help them reduce the loneliness. And this day, technology has even made it possible for you to see their faces even when you are not beside them. Seeing you often, even just through the phone screen, helps them to avoid feeling abandoned and even some negative action. You can call your parents in the morning when you go into work. You might even decide to call them after the work hours, and I think you should even do more if any of them have lost of significant others. Losing a significant other means there is greater risk of depression, and for instance, our parents will be the classic examples. When you study at the university, and of course, you will live far from home, and contacting with parents regularly will have you reduce the gap between you and your parents, even you are not beside them. It helps them to feel less lonely and more interested. Well, in my opinion, I think the significant thing the elderly people want is children and moreover the care of the children. That's my opinion.
Sorry, Chang, but I agree with Vinh. In Vietnam, maybe people think it's the best when push our people to nursing home. But as I know, in developed countries, most of our people tend to go to nursing home by themselves because they think they will be the burden of their families and they will find friends in the nursing home. That's my idea. Thank you.
If you say that they want to find some friend in the nursing home, children can even consider hiring a caregiver for them. Actually, the biggest issue seniors have is the loneliness, and the caregiver will be necessary if you don't have time to go visit your parents regularly, and even don't need to send them to the nursing home.
Yeah, I I have no idea with your idea, but it is my own idea.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other idea? So that's all. First of all, thank you all for your participation in the discussions. Where I have listened to all of your opinions. Now I would like to summarize some key points mentioned in the discussions. Japan is the country which account for the highest proportion of aging population. Aging population has caused certain consequences, such as slowing down the economic growth rate of a country, making the government spend more on pension and healthcare, uh, medical. In medical, it will face incurable disease. The most cancer, along with a shortage of doctors and family members, will spend more time taking care of the elderly. So life will also slow down. And in conclusions, I think aging population is a bad thing. That's the end of the discussion today. Uh, I hope everyone will get useful information, and thank you once again.